Hi everyone, this is Vanessa. Welcome to my channel. It's nice to have you guys back again. I'm glad that you guys are here joining to just to see what I have to say today. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about something that has been coming up again a lot this week. And usually when I make the videos is because I feel like if I were to hang out with a friend or if I were to hang out with somebody I cared about, these are the things that usually come up and I would like to kind of share. So a lot of the times as a woman, we think about when we're married as a fairy tale, or we think about being together with somebody and it's always going to be butterflies and rainbows and, the feeling of like boyfriend and girlfriend. And usually by the time that you're dating in the beginning, of course, it feels that way. Now, if you move in together, it kind of slowly fades away really quickly, especially then if you get married, it totally goes out the door. However, this is something that I kind of want to talk about because when God designed the marriage, it was for our benefit, for our purpose, to create something that's really beautiful, something that's just one of a kind. And just kind of like I mentioned in the other videos, when a man or a woman in a certain point of their marriage, it's because they allowed each other to get to that point. So if you're on the verge of a divorce, or if you're on the verge of thinking about separating, or thinking about dating somebody else, or thinking about being unfaithful to your husband or wife, is because you allowed so many things to trickle in and you've opened a door to allow other people to come in. And it's crazy the way that us women, we have like this window that we kind of lift up when we are by ourselves, or when we want that attention because we need it because our husband doesn't give it to us. And vice versa, for a man, we open the window when we're sitting there, we're watching pornography, or we're watching other women come by, or we're undressing the woman with our eyes. And we start opening and bringing these things into our marriage. We start kind of bringing the third person. So even though that third person doesn't really literally, stay there, we bring them, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and in our heart and in our mind. So it becomes really difficult when you want to have intimacy with your spouse. Oh, little fly. When you want to have intimacy with your spouse, because it's not the same anymore. There's somebody there. There's these walls up. And one of the things that I kind of want to just make sure that I bring up and I talk to you guys about is dating your spouse. So why is it so important to date your spouse? Because when you don't, those doors open. And when you're first dating, you're not going to think about dating somebody else because you're in this love stage, or in this interesting stage and fun stage and these butterfly stages. So you constantly have to kind of keep that. When people say, I fell out of love, it's not true. Like, you just allowed it to go out the door. You didn't try anymore. You always have to keep trying. Imagine if they did that in the beginning, then you wouldn't be in love. They had to try. So it's a constant effort that you have to make throughout the years, and it looks different because love does this. So the safety net of the love that just kind of goes up and down is that the consistency of the unity that God puts in the middle. So one of the things that I want to talk about, that I was saying, is dating your spouse. So what do I mean by dating? Is making sure that you find the time to spend time with your wife or your husband. And when you do go out, make the effort to dress nice for them. And one of the things that I'm really grateful about my husband is that he did this like workout challenge to just make sure that he was taking care of his body, his health, and his energy, and everything in between. And it really meant a lot to me because he was saying to me, when you go with me somewhere, I want to make sure that people are saying, wow, she made a good choice. Like, look at her husband. That's a good choice. Versus like, oh, that's her husband? Like, oh man, she totally could have done better than that. She could have done better with me. He's like, I don't want that. I don't want to give anybody an opportunity to think that you could have done a better choice than what you have now. And it's funny because when we go out, we both get ready, we both get dressed up, and I love that. I love that about it just adds that kind of flair of like, he still cares, I still care. And I care that he says, hey, you look beautiful, hey, you look great, oh my goodness, I can't wait to get home. Like, I love that feeling. And every woman wants to be desired, every woman wants to feel good about themselves. So make that effort, care about yourself. Don't let yourself go because, who cares, I'm already married. No, care, because if you don't care, somebody else is going to care. And my pastor always has this saying that he says, when for the men, if you want your woman outside of bed, you have to please her inside of bed. So meaning that you have to have this connection also with her to make sure that you're being intimate with her and being loving and caring with her, and making sure that you guys are both pleasing each other, not only outside of bed, but also in bed, and having that intimacy together, and it being just you two, and just making sure that you constantly are, loving on each other, thinking about each other, texting each other, telling, hey, I was thinking about you. And if you haven't done that in a long time, then it's not late to start. It's never late to start. At this moment, if you would text your husband, you know what? You're a good choice. You're so handsome. I love you. Like I told you guys in the other video, there's a comedian inside your husband's head that's constantly telling him he's not good enough. So imagine if you come and you say, like, husband, like, you're hot, I love you, like, man, I was thinking about you all day today, I can't stop thinking about you. It just kind of gives them that boost. Same thing like when he comes and he would say, like, wow, like, are you losing weight? You look great. Like, man, you look so good. Like, wow, I miss you. Right away, it just adds that kind of spice back to each other's relationship. At the end of the day, like, think about it this way. Yes, your kids are important, but if you don't take the time to date your spouse and go out and do things together versus being with the kids all the time, the kids are going to leave. And then what's going to happen when they leave and you're home alone with your husband? There's no relationship left. There's nothing. It's empty, and you don't want that. So just take the time to date your husband this week, to date your wife this week. If you haven't done it in a long time, it's never too late. Write her a letter, write her a text message, buy her flowers, bring her favorite chocolate when you stop at the gas station and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Bring him his favorite soda when you're at the store and say, I was just thinking about you. There's tons of many different things that you can do to just show affection, show that you care, show that you love them. And in the next video, I'm going to talk about the ways that you can do that. There's a book that's called 5 Languages of Love. And it's very interesting because it's the way that a person shows their affection, shows that they love somebody. So we'll go ahead and talk about that in the next video. But I just wanted to say, remind you guys, don't forget, date your wife, date your husband. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Good night, guys.